We've come back home to ERX Motor Park, and it's about to be a house party. AMSOIL Snocross National, U.S. Air Force pit walk. Here we go. The way we line up our pits, points leader for the pro class starts first. So once again, we're going to start with Elias Ischel, Thien Motorsports Skidoo. I was catching up with Elias Ischel a couple of rounds ago at Houston Speedway, and we'll actually take you back. Before I get to that point, there's a story that begins here at ERX. You remember him after round 8. He was visibly almost dejected after his second place finish. Well, what does that tell us? That tells us that the standard for himself is back up there. The expectations are higher, and that's a good thing. Because at the beginning of the season, came away with at one point a second place finish, and he said he is more relieved to finish on the podium than he is over some of his championships. So to give you a perspective, is Elias Ischel back to Elias Ischel peak form? I think he is. Again, injury, I think it's a non-issue at this point. And again, he is feeling that himself. So he says he's absolutely feeling like he's in a better place than he was start of 2022, 2023 season. Pitted next to them, Hench's Racing Polaris Cody Cam, all-time career points leader, second in the championship point standings as it is. So Cody Cam, proven winner this year. We'll see if he's going to be able to make something happen. Shearing Speed Sports Skidoo, Hunter Patnode and Logan Christian. I heard Logan say earlier today that Houston's not a great weekend for him. He's looking forward to that weekend now being behind him. So a fresh slate for Logan Christian and Hunter Patnode coming into this weekend. Followed by Judnick Motorsports Polaris. Okay, interesting conversation. We're talking Triple Crown racing with the pro class, and they had to make a decision, the race officials, on how long these races are going to be. They ultimately decided on 8 minutes plus a lap, the length of a pro light main event. So that sounds about right? That's more minutes on track, longer races, more exciting races. I think this is what's going to equate to. But the one piece of feedback that I heard voiced by Emil Har is that he wanted longer races. He wanted 10-minute races plus a lap, and 3 of them. So we talk about Emil Har, it's sometimes relying on those long races, that longevity that he brings to the field, and capitalizing in the late paces. So Emil Har, if we're talking about stamina, he's already wanting longer races out there, so that tells me he's been putting in the work. So Emil Har, we'll see what his skill set is going to bring to the pro class Triple Crown that we're debuting this weekend. Pitted next to them, All Finish Racing Arctic Cat, Dan Benham said there's been a lot of highs and a lot of lows this year. So Daniel Benham perhaps looking to get back to the higher moments once again this weekend. We had seen him on the box in round 9 in Houston Speedway. Team LaValle Polaris, okay, don't shoot the messenger. Here's what happened. If you were wondering why was Adam Peterson not officially scored and did not receive third place points after round 10, that was because when he had the off-track excursion, officials ruled it that he did not properly look around before re-entering the course. Again, don't shoot the messenger. That's what occurred there. But Adam Peterson leading laps. We thought this might be his race to win. But is his time coming? I think it is, based on what we've seen from Adam Peterson recently. Warner Racing Skidoo, 10-time, and ladies and gentlemen, he's already surpassed his points wins from 2022. So Jordan Lavelle's already crushed it. I'm curious to see, is it safe? And I'm genuinely asking a question here. In seasons past, if someone's locked up a championship or they're out of the championship in Lake Geneva, we've seen pro light guys step up to pro for the final rounds. Are we going to see that? I don't know. It might be fun, but time will tell. Skogquist race team. Peter Narsa was pretty banged up after an incident that occurred Friday night at Houston Speedway, so he was just taking starts the next night. Peter Narsa back in action, and we have a new racer for the pro women's class this weekend. She is the sister of the 2017 pro women's champion Alina Oman. This is Hilda Oman, who is going to be running the, of course, again, pro women's class this season. So really excited about what she's going to be bringing to the table. We'll be talking more about her career. She's one of the front runners overseas in Europe. So really great selection in bringing her over here. And I believe her father's over here as well, rallycross racer. So she comes from a family of speed. So really great addition to the field, I believe. Pitted next to them, we have Andy Pake, number 64 Skidoo, Ford Pro Light, Katu Motorsports, breaking all of our hearts this last week. So broke our hearts at ERX a few weeks ago when Travis Kern was injured pretty badly. He's back, 2-1, back in action this weekend. Cole Katu, our most recent heartbreak this last week, had a very serious crash at Houston Speedway. A little bit of a recovery ahead of Cole Katu, and we continue to wish him the best. So please join me in sending him our wellest wishes. Cole Katu, as he's on the mend. And more for Thien Motorsports Skidoo. So this is their satellite trailer. Marcus Ogamar was telling me, okay, so we don't want to keep beating a dead horse. The guy has battled with an ankle injury, but that's not the story. The story is that despite that, he's been putting forth his best performances this season. Speak of the devil right there. So Marcus Ogamar, despite that, he's been really, really fast. So that's what I'm going to be keeping my eye on. One of the stories for the Pro Light class. And as we make our way down the row, KC Motorsports Polaris, True North Motorsports, Boss Racing, Arctic Cat and Skidoo. Trent Whitwer was telling me last weekend too. So obviously 2 manufacturers in this semi, Skidoo and Arctic Cat. You may think logistically, that's pretty crazy. How do you manage having 2 manufacturers on the team? Actually, if we unearth that a little bit, there is actually a benefit to it, that you can lean on one another for expertise. Sleds so vastly different, but you may see, let's for example, you're struggling with one sled. You can lean on your guys with expertise on the other manufacturers who may have just a different perspective on how to fix an issue or how to go about it. So that's one thing that I think a lot of people didn't consider, but really cool that they have working for them. And Trent was telling me all about that. Followed by them, Flipside Racing, Jesse Kirchmeier back on the snow bike. You smell that? The smell of 4-stroke motorcycles is in the air because snow bikes are back this week. Kirchmeier did not have a great opening rounds for the snow bikes, so comeback story for the snow bike classes, this guy. I'll be watching for it. Pitted next to them, 1-3 Motorsports Skidoo, West Coast Customs Racing Skidoo. And more on the snow bike racing this weekend. So this is rounds 3 and 4 of the 6-round snow bike Triple Crown. So not to be confused with the AMSOIL Pro Class Triple Crown. So every race counts. Points are so critical. Points leader this weekend, Yannick Boucher, is not in attendance. He's actually, I believe, out riding the backcountry. He's out west, so he's going to be missing this time. I hope we get to see him later on this season. But could that open the door for potentially a new winner? Could it open the door for potentially a new winner from the seasons past? Time will tell. But the racing's been exciting this year, really, really exciting. So it truly is an honor to have snow bikes back in action this weekend. Colton Krajicek, pitted just back here, is actually trying his hand at snow bike for the first time ever this weekend. Of course, he's teammates with Troy Horbatty, one of the most thrilling racers in the class. So you got to believe that he's had a chance to maybe even ride Troy Horbatty's bike. And I'd have to believe that Troy Horbatty had kind of given him a little nudge, say, hey, throw a leg over a bike, come give it a try. So this is the place to do it. Going to be an epic track for us this weekend at ERX Motor Park. Well, I'm going to cut it short here. We're going to set you loose. I want you to check out all of the action this weekend. Get here. There is no better seat in the house than to be right here at ERX Motor Park, where you can watch around 3/4 of the track. Visibility, exceptional. World-class fan experience here. They do it so proper. So get here to Elk River, Minnesota. We'll see you this weekend. AMSOIL Snocross National.